So I just applied a small amount of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow onto the brush, and I'm just filling in her brows lightly. Then I'm going to conceal under her eyebrows with the LA Girl Toast Concealer, and I'm just using a flat definer brush. I'm using a moist beauty blender, and I'm just dabbing the concealer into her eyelid. Now to set the concealer, I'm just putting on a powder. So to begin creating the smoky eye, I like to go on with a reddish orangish color, and I'm just putting this above her crease, and this will be the transition color. I'm also going to go in with a brown eyeshadow just to create a transition from the orange to the black. So I'm just blending this out onto her crease. So now I'm just going to go in with a black eyeshadow base. I'm using a NYX product. You could use a gel liner also, and I'm just going to pat this in with a concealer brush onto her eyelid, her lower lid. Now to finish the look, I'm just going to go over the eyeshadow base with black eyeshadow, and I'm going to make sure to blend out the edges of the eyeshadow base. And I'm just going to create a thin liner and give her a bit of a wing as well. So before I applied her lashes, I did apply some mascara. Right now I'm just applying the Yasmin lash from the Glam Lash. Now that the eyeshadow is complete, I'm just priming her face with the MAC Natural Radiance primer. And I'm just going to make sure I get under her eyes and basically everywhere the foundation will be applied to. I like to go in with foundation instead of concealer on top of brows in general. This makes it easier to blend out, and it just looks much more natural. So when I do apply my foundation, I do this in the process. I am applying the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation in Cartoon. This is the darkest shade. It does have a bit of a red undertone, which is why it looks pretty orange. But when I do blend it out, everything will pretty much work out. So I'm going to cream highlight. I'm not going to cream contour, so I'm just going to begin by concealing under her eyes with this LA Girl concealer. I'm going to go in on both sides of her eyes, on top of her lip, on her chin, on her nose, and her center forehead. I'm also going to basically cut her contour line since I'm not using cream contour, and this will create a illusion type of contour. So I'm going to blend out all of the concealer. I am using a beauty blender, and I feel like it's really necessary to have a damp blending brush, or blending sponge I should say. If you are using a blending sponge, definitely make sure it is damp. It does distribute the concealer much better. Now I am just going back in with a lighter concealer under her eyes on both sides, and I'm going to conceal the bridge of her nose and a bit of her forehead and blend this out. And again, I'm just going to blend the concealer out. Now to just set all the spots that I highlighted, I'm going to go in with this with the same damp blending sponge, And I'm just using the Mercier deep translucent powder or deep powder, and I'm just gonna like go over the sides of her nose as well. I'm going to pretty much highlight everywhere. I mean, pretty much set everywhere that I highlighted. Now I'm going to contour using this mahogany brown powder. It's a NYX powder, and I'm just going to use this to contour her cheekbones, as well as the outer areas of her forehead and her jawline. To contour her nose, I'm going to use the same brush. I'm not going to apply any more excess product, but I'm just going to pinch the brush and glide it over the sides of her nose. I'm also going to contour her chin by just putting a bit of the product on the sides of her chin. So now I'm just going to dust off all the excess powder that I used to set her highlight. And I'm also applying some foundation powder to keep the color in her face. So now I'm applying blush. I am using the Double Blush by MAC, which is a orange blush. This is my go-to choice for blush when it comes to dark skin. So I do like to spray my brush after I have product on it when I am putting on highlight. This just gets the product to be more pigmented. And to just make sure the highlight, blush, and contour really transitioned out well, I like to go on with a blending brush and just blend everything out. You could use an eyeshadow brush to do this, but I like to use my finger. I'm just going to highlight the bridge of her nose, the tip of her nose, and her cupid's bow. So I wanted to go for a nude lip. I went in with this NYX soft matte lip cream, and I just decided that it wasn't dark enough. I did forget to line it, so I went back in with a dark color on my NYX lip palette. I decided to go on with white liner on her waterline just to make the eye look pop. And to add some more warmth to this look, I went with the brown script eyeshadow under her eyes. And to finish off the look, I went with a NYX pigment on the inner corners of her eyes.
I say, Monica, no be today. Me and you done dey fight, don't they? I no go pursue man, I go change my ways. I go reduce the banana, I no go do it again. If you leave me,